Hello everyone and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and today we're going to be opening the brand new Eureka Crystal Beads collection that they have just released for the first time today. Now these collections are not a subscription, so by picking one up you're not going to be starting any kind of a monthly plan or anything like that. But what they are is a theme-based package of high-quality beading materials, from Japanese seed beads to crystal beads and stones, pearls and other components that you can put together and create some beautiful designs with. And not only can you pick up this particular theme, but they have other themes available on their site, some of which they restock, some they don't, and sometimes these sell out on launch day. So if you want to pick this one up, I highly recommend going to their site as soon as possible. I will leave the link directly to this package right down below the video, as well as the link to their collections page where you can see which other ones are available at this time. So what I know is that this is called the Sweet Romance collection, and I believe we're going to be seeing some shades of pink and purple in this one. All their collections are something different, and often if you pick up more than one, you can use the different beads and components across their different collections to expand the palette even more. But let's go ahead and get into this one and see what we have in store. All right, so here's a peek at what is in this collection, which we will look at in just a moment in greater detail. And I just want to mention how great these are for gifts as well. So if you have any other beaders in your life that you want to purchase a gift for, I highly recommend these collections because they're already bundled up together in such a beautiful way, and I'm sure would make a lot of people happy. But let's flip this over and see what our theme looks like. Gorgeous. So definitely feeling the sweet romance vibe of this package based on our picture. And let's take a brief look at the list of contents that we're going to be checking out. And inside we have this insert, so that talks a little bit about the inspiration behind this particular collection theme. We open this up. And this is where we find our list of materials included, going section by section from seed beads all the way at the top. We're also going to be looking at some check glass beads, the new Elite Eureka crystals, which is their new line of high quality crystal products, as well as Krakowski crystal, also their line of crystal stones and pearls. In addition, we have some Chinese crystal, an additional cabochon, and some coordinating findings. Those codes on the right, you can pop those right into the search bar on Eureka's website. Those will take you to the specific products that you receive in your collection. So if you wanted to order more of those, that's how you can find out how to go about doing that, and also finding out the specific color names and finishes of the products that you received. I won't be sharing the exact color names of what we're going to look at today, just because if by chance they relaunch the collection or have some subtle variations, it's possible that the collection could vary just slightly. For example, just subbing out one particular color of seed bead for something else that's very, very similar to it. And that's just because of stock availability and what they're able to get their hands on, again, in the future. But you can also find out that information on the collection page when you go to make your purchase. And additionally, you're welcome to purchase any of these items that you see today separately outside of the collection by shopping on their website. Eureka also ships to all locations all over the world. And if you're located in the US, shipping is free for all orders over $35, which means this collection would ship to US residents at no additional cost. But now for the best part, I'm going to get a little bit more organized so we can go down the list of products and take a closer look at everything one at a time. We'll begin by taking a look at our seed bead selection, starting out with our first product, which is a 2.5-inch tube of Toho round size 6.0 seed beads. And this particular color looks to be like an opal amethyst with that translucent glass letting some of that metallic lining show through with just a hint of sparkle from within. Our next two products are two additional 2.5-inch tubes of Toho round seed beads in the size 11O. We have this bright sort of bubblegum pink, also with that creamy opalescent-like glass, and a metallic lining, and then that deeper, duskier, frosty-looking amethyst color, bringing in a little bit more of that dark mauve or purple tone. Also in the size 11O, but this time in the Miyuki brand, both of which are great brands, we have this tube of 11O rounds in a bright, sort of cotton candy pink color. This tube is also larger and is about 5 inches, or double the size of the other two. And then we have the even smaller size 15O round seed beads in the Toho 2.5-inch tube in this stunning variety that I love. It brings in some of that purpley pink, but also a little bit of green to the palette, which is quite nice. And the fact that they include in these collections different sizes of these seed beads, and also sometimes delica beads, that is so helpful when it comes to bezeling some of the beautiful stones we'll take a look at, or just incorporating into other projects where you need the different sizes. And then last for the seed bead section are the 2-hole Miyuki Tila beads with this soft pink blush color and the opaque glass, and it looks like they have a slight luster or metallic sheen coated on the outside. So as usual, this gives us a great indication of our color palette in addition to our inspiration picture, of course. They have really picked up on those brighter pops of pink, but also those moodier, deeper tones of amethyst and just those slight hints of green so far from the 15O seed beads. Our next section is covering the check glass contents, and we start out with a 2.5-inch tube of the 2-hole Super Duo beads, this variety being a shade of medium pink in the opaque color variety. And then our other 2-hole shape for this collection are the Vexolo beads, and I'll take these out so we can look at them. And you can see how they have that slight variegated color pattern, but overall are in a shade of light pink with perhaps some opaque white glass at the base. These have that triangular shape with the 2 holes that you can see running through the side, one closer to the pointed end and the other closer to the wider base. And then we round that out with the hibiscus flowers. This is a bag containing 10 pieces. Looking a little bit like cherry blossoms in this color scheme, which in this variety looks to be either a very pale pink or white opaque glass, and then the really deep rosy shade in the wash that brings out all those details of this pressed glass shape. The hole runs through the side of the bead going up and down the center, and they're the same on both sides. In our next section, we see that we have 2 different types of the new Elite Eureka Crystal bicone beads in 2 different sizes, the 3 and 4 millimeter, both of these being packages of 24. Here are those sparkly 3 millimeter crystal bicone beads that look like they have a bright red base, but with the addition of that AB coating, that gives these a magenta or pinkish cast when you're looking at them from certain angles, and some other flashes of color as well. These are really great quality, and I would say they're right on par with something like Preciosa or other higher quality crystal brands. And they've got tons of different colors and finishes on their website, so be sure to check those out as well. And then here is the 4 millimeter size in this tone of deep hot pink. These are beautifully cut and faceted as well, with that bright crystal clear quality that catches the light, sparkles away, and they've got smooth, cleanly drilled holes, all things that point to the quality of these crystals. And next we have our Krakowski crystal section. Once again, that's Eureka's brand of crystals, which are also really stunning. And we start out with the set of 6 8mm chatons. I said 6, I have 5 in my hand because I need to retrieve the one that I dropped. But you can see the 5 here with that beautiful deep rose pink color and a view at the side of that chaton and also a look at the foiling on the back. Up next is a set of 2 oval stones in the 10 by 14mm size. These are in that deeper shade of purple or amethyst that balances out the pink in the palette and brings us the darker tone. But as I move these, you can see how reflective they are and pick up the light from that backing, projecting that through these beautiful faceted crystal stones. And then in addition to that, we have a set of 2 of the trillion cut crystals in the sparkly rose pink shade. Nice that you get 2 of these and 2 of those smaller ovals. You could use them, of course, together in something or separate, maybe a stunning pair of sparkly earrings I could see especially using these particular stones. Next in the Krakowski section, we have a 1-foot segment of 3mm crystal cup chain. How stunning is that? Oh my goodness, it's got the really luscious bright pink tone with an AB coating. That's what gives us the little bit of iridescence and extra shimmer of some of that blue, purple, and aqua that we see picked up in certain spots. This is one of those items that you can use in bead weaving projects, but also embroidery. If you're into bead embroidery, these collections make awesome inspiration for that type of beading as well. And this, again, is just one of the many colors that they have of the Krakowski crystal cup chain, giving you an idea of what that looks like up close. And then last in that section is a bag containing a strand of 100 round crystal pearls in the 4mm size. So there's quite a few of these pearls to work with. And again, these Krakowski varieties being on par, similar to other check glass pearls and say Preciosa pearls, for example, in the non-nacre variety. And this color is stunning. It's very vibrant and almost has a coral undertone to it. These are the 2 selections from our next section of Chinese crystal containing 2 long strands of 3 by 2mm rondelle beads. So these have between 170 and 190 beads per strand. We have these 2 colors which bring together the pink and purple from the palette. One in that very light pastel blush pink and our other one in that more purple amethyst combination of the creamy opal variety of glass with all those facets giving the light all sorts of different surfaces where that reflective sparkle is shimmering away. And then in our last section before we get to the findings, we have this set of 2 12mm round cabochons. And these appear to be a stone material, lots of deep green and almost black in these cabs. You can see how they are domed and very shiny, and they're probably all just a little bit different. I wanted to show you the side of this one that has some hints of pink showing up, so it's possible that some of these have even more pink showing up in certain areas and maybe even on the front of these cabs, which offer this green and botanical contrast to our romantic shades of pink and purple, and another type of material to have fun incorporating and bezeling around. And in our last section, we have the coordinating findings, which appear to have come in a copper variety for this particular collection. All of them bagged up nice and neat, but I'll go ahead and take them out so I can just show you the products in my hand. But we start out with this one, which is a Tierra Cast brand dragonfly button. This has that raised dragonfly shape that's sort of whimsical and adds a lot of personality, especially if you use this as a clasp along with the coordinating beads. Then we have a set of 2 pair of the 27mm ear wires with that simple ball detail at the bottom in this brighter copper color, which still coordinates well with the shade of antique copper. It can kind of lean in both of those directions. And these are something that always come in handy. Also very handy is our next item. This is another high quality Tiara Cast brand toggle clasp in the antique copper color with that design showing up on both sides of these components in that one area, and then otherwise being pretty smooth and classic in its shape. Another coordinating and practical finding selection up next with these 5mm 18 gauge jump rings. This is a pack of 10 grams. And then our last package contains an assortment of 14 grams of Tibetan style bead caps in this antique copper mix. I've got some of those sitting there lined up so you can see the different varieties that came in this assortment. Quantities of each of those, of course, may vary in the mixed pack, and I could see these used in a beaded wire-wrapped cluster bracelet maybe, or necklace, especially with some of those larger bead caps, mixing those all together in that way. Or, of course, you could separate these out and use them in separate projects. So that wraps it up for another stunning Eureka crystal beads collection with the color palette really on point, I think, with this theme. There's a balance of the brighter, lighter, sweet tones and then some of those deeper, darker, more mysterious shades of purple brought together with some antique copper metallic components. It's also really well-rounded, like all of their collections are, and I highly recommend them, especially if you're somebody like me who gets inspiration from seeing all these different things together that you could incorporate into a finished piece, giving you pretty much everything you'd need to make multiple projects in the range of different seed bead sizes, but also the focal components with the sparkling crystal stones, the very usable sizes of pearls and crystal rondelles, and a couple other fun surprises like the rhinestone cup chain and those stone cabochons. I look forward to working with this collection, and as usual, I will make it my mission to come up with a project based on these materials that I will return with in the future with a separate tutorial video for. So I have no idea what that will be at this point, but that is all part of the fun. And a great reminder to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already so you'll know when that's coming up. So again, the link for this collection is right down below the video in the description section, and if you want to pick this one up, it is not a subscription package. You can pick up any of their collections that are in stock at any time, and you're welcome to pick up more than one if you want to. But that's all I have for now. As usual, I want to thank you all so much for being here to unbox this with me and check out all these goodies up close. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, definitely give the video a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know if you enjoy these Eureka Crystal Beads collections, what you think of this one, or anything else you'd like to say. And feel free to share the video with your other beading friends. I'll see you all again real soon, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.